Building a Successful Professional Learning Community, a case study that will be addressing the challenges and positive outcomes that come from building a successful professional learning community within an educational institution. The key areas that will be addressed for this particular case study are some of the challenges that can arise from leadership not addressing set outcomes to implement within a primary school institution to help build a positive and successful professional learning community for all. Some key recommendations will be addressed to help promote positive outcomes for all stakeholders in the future who are immediately involved within the educational institution in question. Some of the contextual background of Oceanside Primary School is that it's an educational institution that caters for families with students from Prep to Year 6 as an independent private primary school. The school is a faith-based institution whose socio-economic background has families that are middle to higher income earners. The current leadership present at the school have been new to the institution in the past 18 months. This particular case study will be addressed from the view of a full-time classroom teacher who works within the institution on a daily basis. What does a successful professional learning community really mean? Leaders within educational institutions have the daily challenge of engaging all stakeholders to work towards a common vision or goal. This isn't always the case, and this is why leaders need to be trained to build a professional learning community through positive outcomes, especially within educational institutions in the 21st century. Do 4 reflects upon the fact that a successful professional learning community should involve educators working as strong teams and in a collaborative manner. There should be a focus on learning for all rather than the teaching aspect within the institution, and the importance of educators being able to show accountability for their results. If a professional learning community does not have these aspects present at the centre of their common vision or goal, this is where challenges can arise that hinder the professional gain of the institution, rather than the positive outcomes for change being present. The role of the leader within this particular situation is crucial, as their involvement helps determine the overall school effectiveness, improvements in student achievement, and overall teacher quality present at the institution. If these are implemented in an effective and positive way, there should be little to no negative impact present at all. What does a successful professional learning community look like? There are some key aspects that should be present within an educational institution that help to promote positive outcomes for all. These particular aspects should be evident to all stakeholders immediately involved. Within this particular primary school, these important aspects should also be present to the parent body and surrounding community on a day-to-day basis that may be on the outside looking in. Some of these key aspects that should be imperative to a successful professional learning community being present are aspects such as learning as the centre focus for all, rather than a focus on improving teaching. The quality of teaching will improve naturally if there is an effective approach embedded within the institution and its approach to positive learning for all. Collaboration and commitment together need to be achieved in a successful way for all stakeholders involved to move towards a common vision. If this is not present, the level of trust is then affected with these educational professionals that should be working towards that common goal. It is imperative for leaders to be able to achieve effective implementation of key outcomes to help with changes for improvement. If this is not at the forefront of the leaders' implementation approaches and processes, stakeholders will feel a lack of belonging and disorganisation to approaching the common vision for the institution. Leadership members should always be present in key decision-making processes. This includes hearing from all stakeholders' views and opinions, and again, linking back to the collaboration aspect. A flow-on effect from these key aspects should be a strong element of engagement and positivity. This is beneficial for all areas of building a successful professional learning community. These key crucial aspects are reflected upon by Velasquez and Sharp and Sackney and Mitchell. Currently at Oceanside Primary School, there is a lot of unrest between all stakeholders involved. The leadership team that has been developed have not effectively come in with a clear approach to improving the key outcomes of the school, and this has started off the relationship with others with an element of distrust. Building a strong and positive culture within an educational institution where change needs to be implemented is crucial. It is strongly felt that the principal has a vision for change, but unfortunately not in a collaborative way. This makes learning and teaching practices sometimes quite difficult for a range of teaching staff within the organisation. The Essential Guide to Professional Learning stated by AITSL standards specifically says that teachers should engage in frequent and ongoing professional conversations regarding their teaching practices. This is not currently happening, therefore the leadership's approach is not giving all stakeholders the impression that one of the key outcomes for improvement is collaboration. Currently, there is also a lack of focus on the importance of learning for all. Rather, the focus is on the teaching and how this should be implemented in all classrooms. Most training sessions for staff involve either the principal or the deputy telling teaching staff how a lesson should look and the exact structure it should follow. This leaves very little room for creativity with implementation in the classroom and leaves teachers feeling disengaged in their own professional learning. Some other key areas that are not welcomed by leadership is that when an educator within the institution feels they are not getting their professional needs met and go to extend their professional learning externally, this is not welcomed positively. It is currently felt by educators that the current professional learning being provided at the school is not helping them to have a broader range of ideas to apply to the classroom setting. Any type of professional learning is crucial to extend yourself. However, the current professional learning within the institution focuses on teachers being told how and what to teach without their opinions as educators being taken into consideration. This is mostly done using textbook approaches and not in an engaging manner. As Dufour states, a school only becomes a professional learning community when educators align their practices with PLC concepts. Currently, it is very evident that there is not a successful and positive approach to the professional learning of the educators within the institution, and to move towards having a more successful professional learning community, this particular issue needs to be addressed, as professionals should feel they can positively approach external professional learning opportunities with their leadership team members. Yes, it is agreed that leadership teams can face challenges and risks when trying to implement change for the benefit of the organisation. However, there are steps that should be clearly communicated and acted upon that display to the current stakeholders that their vision for the institution is heard, so that everyone involved has a view on how to move towards the key outcomes in a positive manner for the school. This would then build up the trust element of the professional relationship needed to start building a successful professional learning community. Trust is also a crucial element to any successful professional learning community, and Robinson reflects upon that fact that relational trust needs to be present. This involves a willingness to be vulnerable to another party, and in this case, the educators being vulnerable to leadership members. Once this occurs within the institution in question, trust along with collaboration will flow more easily between staff members, and this is highly recommended in this situation. However, making sure these approaches and professional learning communities in general are sustainable can be a challenge within educational institutions. Change can bring about educators feeling overwhelmed, so it is crucial that this organisation considers changing their approaches to implementation to be sustainable and more effective. Hip, Huffman, Pancake, and Oliver reflect upon the fact that it is important for leaders to realise that making a professional learning community sustainable will have its challenges if determination and growth are not present within the organisation. Sustainable and effective learning communities also need to realise that for it to be successful, there needs to be purposeful and informed action based on professional learning opportunities present. Some other key suggestions that are recommended are the need for leadership members to be involving themselves in the professional learning opportunities that do take place within this current school. Currently, leadership only participates as they present the key topics they feel are needed. However, it is strongly suggested by other stakeholders that either the professional learning opportunities are shared so that there is a feeling of equality between regular teaching staff and leadership members. Colmore reflects upon the fact that there is no simple way or fix to help lead and run an organisation. However, it is always beneficial if leaders commit to participating in staff professional development. This would also help strengthen the collaboration aspect of all stakeholders present within this particular institution, which has also been previously mentioned as a recommendation. It is also suggested that there needs to be a stronger focus on learning for all, rather than trying to constantly improve the teaching methods present. Some of the key recommendations for Oceanside Primary School are as follows. Open communication and transparency from leadership members is crucial. Effective and sustainable implementation practices should be in place to enhance collaborative approaches in future. Leadership to be involved on all levels in a positive manner with stakeholders. This includes in all aspects of professional learning. And there should be a strong focus on learning rather than teaching, especially with 21st century changes in educational practices and institutions. It is found if these recommendations are taken into consideration that there will be improvements towards moving towards a successful professional learning community. So overall, it is recommended that Oceanside Primary School as an educational institution reevaluates its current approaches to building a professional learning community, and for key leadership members to realise that all educators should be involved immediately in this process. It is possible to build a successful professional learning community within this educational institution if the right steps and approaches are taken. This should involve aspects such as collaboration to then help build up the trust and positive culture, as well as the consideration for a more positive and engaging approach to all professional learning opportunities present.